are live from Sapphire Now 2018 in Orlando, Florida. I'm Michael Krigsman. I'm an industry analyst and the host of CXOTalk. I am delighted right now to speak with the Chief Information Officer of SAP, Thomas Saueressig. Hey Thomas, how are you?
Nice to meet you, Michael.
So, tell us about your role as CIO.
Yeah, so the role actually fundamentally changed the last couple of months quite significantly, because if you think about all this move to the cloud, I think you recognize IT is actually becoming part of the core value chain of the company. And also actually, quite frankly, part of the product itself. And now I'm also responsible for the customer experience of SAP from a technology perspective and the global cloud infrastructure of SAP. So all our 150 million users of SAP are run by my IT organization to ensure smooth operations as well.
So the role of IT has dramatically shifted from, say, infrastructure to now where you're an integral part of the customer-facing product and operations of SAP as an organization.
Absolutely, you're spot on. And that is exactly the point. I believe from an SAP IT perspective, we actually influence the product strategy and are part of the product. Two examples what we do. On the one hand, as a customer, if you purchase Concur, Fieldglass, Ariba, S4, C4HANA and the likes, we need to ensure that all of this is working in harmony and that we can provision it everywhere around the globe and you have a great performance. And as we run, we have so much insight into the portfolio and into the integration topics. We actually defined, for instance, the integration from Ariba to S4. So this integration was defined by the IT organization and is now the standard integration of SAP itself.
It's very unusual because we think of IT as being internally focused on the infrastructure, and it's very unusual for product infrastructure to be part of the IT organization.
Yeah, basically we have two reasons why we did that. The first reason was we wanted to centralize all the global cloud infrastructure of SAP, and likewise we also went with the multi-cloud strategy, which means we partnered strategically with Microsoft Azure, with Google Cloud Platform and with AWS. When you adopt software as a service solutions actually in a company, you can also for sure free up capacity, which you can then leverage for these additional tasks.
What are the drivers that make IT relevant?
I think an IT organization should be the best prepared to think about how can I use technology in a smart way for greater impact to the company and to the customer. The IT organization also need to rethink their role, getting away from the classical order taker, which they were in the past, to also proactively really see how they can make use out of that new technology. Because talking about artificial intelligence, talking about augmented reality, talking about also blockchain and the likes, fundamentally exciting technologies. But it's important that you put it in the right business perspective to think about how you can with that improve, in the end of the day, the impact and value to the customer.
So the coming together of business and IT, digital seems to be the driver that enables this. Maybe you can explain why digital creates this opportunity for IT.
To give you some examples, we have customers who sell basically heating solutions in Europe. But fundamentally, instead of just selling the heater, they basically sell the entire maintenance on a regular basis. But also now think about in every house you have heaters. Think about a smart home topic now, and they are in every home already because every home has a heater. This is a total different business model, thinking about smart homes, IoT, leveraging their topics for services business, which they now run at scale, and it's growing tremendously.
What are the reference points that you use as the anchors or the pillars?
We use the 3M index, which is an industry benchmark index. 2 years ago, we had a score of 70%. 2 years later, we achieved a 9 percentage point increase. And with 79% of the 3M index score, we are now under the top 5% of all IT organizations on a global scale. Top 5%. So we really are proud for every IT organization.
Let's talk about customer experience. Why is IT involved and how is IT involved in customer experience?
For me, customer experience, you also need always to look at end-to-end, which means the first touch point is of any individual who's kind of visiting our webpage. And we don't have any information, perhaps except the IP address. And this relationship is growing because he's downloading a white paper, we get some more information. So basically you see a growing information and growing relationship over the time. So it starts with the first touch point on the webpage, and it hopefully ends with that this customer has interest to get a trial system. And then he most probably will turn a trial system into a productive system. And then we have a contractual relationship and this end-to-end. And then he will receive services. And we will need to help him to adopt our solutions, customer success. And if he has an issue, for sure we need to provide the right level of support, end to end. And we basically enable all of that.
And it's always from the reference point of that customer. It's not from the IT perspective,
No.
it's from the customer perspective.
End customer. It's the end customer focus which we need to have in, and we always need to, if you want to optimize it, think in the shoes of our end customers.
You're also responsible for the infrastructure here, and there's 25, 30,000 people, so it's like a
Absolutely.
city, and you've created, so tell us briefly about the infrastructure here.
We have an event IT organization which is running more than 300 events a year, and most of the colleagues here which support Sapphire now today actually fly tonight to Hannover, where the CeBIT will run next week for the preparation there. If you walk through the show floor at Sapphire, you need to have a great digital experience. We directly scan how long the people are visiting one booth, that we can have real-time metrics to see which demo is getting the most interest, to ensure that we optimize the entire show floor real time. And that's what we do this year, so that you don't have these boring old scanners which you had the old days, where the people came to you and asked you, oh, can you give me my badge and I scan? These days are gone. You just walk through the show floor, and with modern technology, we directly track all the different dimensions and recognize patterns and interest for specific sessions, demos, and the like. So it's exciting. And IT is basically, again, the enabler of this customer experience, which you see here at Sapphire.
Fascinating. Thomas Saueressig, thank you so much.
Thank you so
It's
much.
Good to
It was
see
a
you
pleasure.
again.
Thank you.